What is up, peeps? Hope we're all doing well, having a good day so far. You're going to need some coffee or water for this one. It's going to be one of the biggest days in esports history as we see one of the first, if not the first ever official walkouts when it comes time for a franchise league in esports and one of the biggest esports out there in League of Legends. In case you guys have missed the weeks leading up to all of this, it's a pretty lengthy story, but we got a short timeline to knock it all down for you guys, as it was Riot, due to owner demands, actually releasing the fact that these teams had to field both an LCS roster and an Academy/Challenger roster right below this. Apparently, it was due to owner demands, and Riot just issued a statement saying, okay, you no longer have to field both an LCS roster and a Challenger/Academy team. Shortly after issuing that statement, 7 of the 10 teams have now dropped those rosters to save on budget and save money in the space. That itself was met with a lot of debate, as we had the LCS Player Association say that Riot did not confide with them, did not go through them, or let them know this was happening. And in fact, the LCSPA accused Riot of lying when apparently they told them, the Player Association, there would be no changes to the Challenger system or the Academy League in 2023. Beyond that, though, some people did debate the other side of, okay, if these teams feel like the Academy system or the Challenger system is not making them money and they can save even a small percentage by dropping those rosters, you somewhat understand where both sides are coming from. Although, when it comes time for diehard League of Legends fans, they greatly respected the 3 teams that actually stuck it out and will remain with their rosters in both the LCS and the Challenger League. That being Team Liquid, that being FlyQuest, and Evil Geniuses. Everyone else, they wanted out. And then came a lot of speculation as to how much is actually being spent on these Challenger/Academy teams compared to the LCS spending these teams are having. Rumors out there saying that of the LCS budget, what these teams are spending on their LCS rosters, it takes around 17% of that to actually field a Challenger team. And people had their debates back and forth about that. I would say a main staple point in the counter argument to dropping these Challenger teams or allowing these LCS teams not to have to field these rosters is because over 50% of the current LCS player base eventually went through that same feeder system. The main problem being people think that if you're going to not allow, or I say not have to force these LCS teams to field a Challenger system, what does that do to the future of NA talent? Does that really harm the future of this scene to not have the full support of the LCS teams and Riot behind this system? And a lot of people would argue, yes, this could be very detrimental to the future of NA LCS and NA League of Legends. So most importantly, the LCSPA, they actually have now staged a walkout. And before all of this, they had a vote, and it had to be a majority pass. And according to them, it was a pretty solid majority that voted to have the first ever walkout in franchised esports history, at least that I'm aware of. You guys can correct this down below. And this is gigantic. I mean, they're going to potentially refuse to play. As the LCSPA has said, the league will not go on if this walkout happens. I have never seen anything like this. As they stated, the walkout is overwhelmingly passed. This is not a decision LCS players have come to lightly. Countless discussions and debates were had before all LCS players in the week, leading to this historic vote. One thing is clear from those conversations, our players want to play and compete above all else. Joining hands to put competition aside is a testament to the significance and urgency of the issues at hand. We stand at the impasse because actions were taken by Riot without prior communication or discussion with the LCS players. The LCSPA sincerely hopes Riot will avert this walkout by joining us in the coming days to have open and transparent discussions so that we can forge collaborative solutions to ensure the best futures for the LCS and the NACL. And beyond that, tons of positive response, especially from LCS figures, players, former staff, current staff, whatever it might be. The overwhelming response to this saying, heck yes, let's have these talks with Riot. Let's sit down and finally have some proper communication on all of this. Also, most importantly, you want to list the demands of the LCSPA, which want more of a sustainable future for this farming system of the Challenger League and want more to mimic the things that Valorant has offered their teams. One of the ones not listed in their recent demands, but listed in the previous demands that they had mentioned around this talk, was they want an in-game item sharing system that allows revenue for these LCS teams similar to that Riot does with Valorant. If you guys don't know, for Valorant, especially if you make it to the tippity top level and you're talking about, VCT champs, they have these custom customized skins that people can all buy into. And we were talking about tens of millions of dollars raised. I think it was like over $1 million individually for each of these teams, which was insane, the feedback, because people love buying skins. It's a simple fact. And I am surprised they do more of this system with Valorant and less so with League of Legends. You would think around League of Legends Worlds, I mean, the spending would be ungodly, you would think. As they list their ask to say, institute Valorant-style promotion and relegation between the LCS and NCL. That is a very interesting concept for sure. Riot commit to a revenue pool for player salaries of $300,000 per NACL team per year. Allow LCS orgs to partner with affiliates for cost sharing. Riot guarantees LCS minimum contracts for the following year for the 5 players who win the LCS Summer Finals each year, and institute a 3/5 roster continuity rule to provide players on release NACL rosters first priority in maintaining their slots in the upcoming NACL season if a majority continue to compete together. And yeah, I mean, there's just so much to talk about. There's so much to break down. I'm sure there's plenty of League of Legends figures who have also kind of given their statements on all of these things. At the very least, this is crazy. You have players refusing to play until Riot talks. You just don't see this anywhere. Beyond that, there's also people bringing up the fact that, Riot allots $3 million per LCS team to field both of these rosters, and just these teams somehow couldn't make that amount of money work to fielding 2 rosters. It goes to show you how exorbitant some of these pay and salaries are for some of these players, which people have brought up counterpoints saying, okay, these players want to do a walkout. How about some of these players just speak up about the bloated salaries that they're paid? There's a lot of talking points and a lot of people upset. I would still say on both sides, at the end of the day, this is still a bad look for the NA LCS, and it probably won't help viewership if you don't have matches to watch. But the future of the Challenger League is still up in arms, as you only have 3 LCS teams fielding rosters there. You have someone like Disguised Toast coming in trying to save the day, which is a nice thing to see. But what does this mean for the future of NACL? And what does this mean for the NALCS if these players are walking out and not competing? This is a historic moment. What do you guys think about this? Certainly there will be follow-up. Till next time, though, take care of yourselves, all right? Drink up. I'll catch you back here sometime soon.